welcome to my YouTube channel called Kickin It Wit Dee. Okay, and of course, guess who? D. It's not. Just kidding. Anywho, welcome to my YouTube channel, y'all. I've been wanting to make my own YouTube channel for a really long time, and I'm finally getting the time to do it. So let's get started. Now, I don't have any specific things I'm going to do on this channel. It's just something for me to do and to share with y'all. I get into all types of things. I can be talking about current topics. I can be showing y'all some things I do as hobbies, like hair, nails, gardening, etc. Whatever the hell I want to do, whatever I want to spend my money on, because I can do that. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to talk about today is the Texas snowstorm that took place. Okay. We didn't even start 2021 yet, and they wanted to act a damn fool. I thought I told 2021 to come in here and sit down and not touch a goddamn thing, but apparently it didn't listen. So anywho, Texas. Great old Texas. I love this state. I can't even lie. I moved here from Rhode Island in April 2016. So it's gonna be 5 years since I've been here, and I love being in Texas, okay? I love most things about Texas, but I thought I was escaping the snowstorm, but I wasn't. It followed me here, okay? This year was the first time I experienced a snowstorm in Texas. Usually it will like sprinkle a little bit of snow, but it barely touch the ground, so like you don't even notice that it really snows. And when it snows, everybody here be getting all excited. Oh, it's snowing. Oh, I can't wait to build a damn snowman. Look, we are not Elsa and Anna. We do not want to build a snowman over here in this household, okay? I think I got PTSD from the snow, but it's whatever. Ain't anywho. So, yeah. So, I woke up this past Monday. No, not this past Monday, because today is Tuesday. I woke up last Monday. I was minding my damn business. And I woke up to no electricity. I said, well, what happened to the electricity? And I woke up butt-ass naked in the bed, and it was cold as hell, and I didn't know what the hell was going on. And I was like, well, what's going on? There was no electricity. So I woke up. I'm walking around the house, still butt-ass naked, trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And I noticed that it had snowed. And I was like, this ain't, you know, it snowed more than usual than I've ever seen in Texas. But, you know, I've experienced actual snowstorms that, like, the snow piles up taller than me. And I'm 5'2". So I've experienced a lot of snow. So when I saw the snow that was outside, I was like, okay, but where's the electricity, though? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right. Now, mind you, I don't like watching the news all the time. Well, I really don't watch news. I would just check in on some news sites here and there just to keep up with what's going on in the world. But like the smaller stuff, I kind of don't like to pay attention to because I like to protect my peace. And a lot of times there's a lot of negative things on the news that I hate listening to over and over, and it just can be draining to my soul, and I really hate that. So anyways, I didn't know we was finna have a snowstorm. Ain't nobody told me we was finna have a snowstorm. So I woke up surprised with no damn electricity, butt ass naked. You have to remember, the day before was Valentine's Day. I didn't do shit. I ended up butt ass naked in the bed. That's all I know. And anywho. So I was like, okay. I was looking at, you know, Facebook, Instagram, and stuff like that. And then I noticed that a lot of people didn't have power. And then I was like, why don't we have power? And then as the day goes by, your girl is freezing. I put some clothes on at this point. Your girl is freezing. I'm like, yo, why we ain't got no goddamn power? And then things just start to get worse and worse and worse and worse. And the whole day, we didn't have any damn power. it was getting real cold inside the house. It was about, at this point, it was about 50 degrees in this house, and usually I keep my heat on between 70 and 75 depending on the day in the winter in here. Anyways, so I go out, I try to find firewood, couldn't find firewood, couldn't find any wood. I was on Facebook Marketplace, sending people messages about buying wood. I could not find anything. It was starting to get real cold in the house, and at this point I went back home. Me and my daughter, we was freezing. It was the saddest thing I've ever had to deal with, because one of my biggest fear in life, and I don't want to say fear because I feel like you can speak that shit into existence, but one of the things that I try to prevent in my life is being homeless. And I have a child, and I do not want myself or my child to ever experience homelessness. So I make sure I work my butt off to make sure that we are good. So we never experienced, any electricity being cut off, water getting cut off on us. Well, I've experienced that, but me as a parent, we've never experienced that together. I've always made sure that my child is provided for. So at this point, I'm starting to get very, worried, because I ran out of firewood and it was really cold in the house. And then so I was calling around hotels. Either hotels were booked or hotels were either hotels were booked or hotels didn't have any electricity themselves. So I couldn't find anything, and my friend ended up finding a room at a hotel. So we went to the hotel, and the electricity went out in the hotel. I said, well, goddamn. And then it started getting cold in the hotel. I was like, well, if I'm gonna freeze, I might as well just go home and freeze. At least I have more blankets available to me at my home. And so me and my daughter went home. It was like the saddest thing, y'all. Like, I don't go camping. I'm not a nature person, so I don't be doing this shit, okay, at all. So me and my daughter came home, no electricity. We tried to charge our devices as much as possible in the car. And we went to sleep that night, and still no electricity. Everything in this apartment is electric, so the heat is connected to the electricity. And we had no hot water. I couldn't run it, to steam up the house or anything like that. I couldn't turn on the stove to warm up the house, nothing like that. I went in my daughter's room. That's like the hottest room in the whole house, and I literally had I think we had 3 or 4 blankets on us. No, we had 3 blankets, and then we wrapped the dog in one blanket. Now my dog is very hyper, but that day, when I tell you, your boy did not move out of that blanket. He looked like a big old burrito in that blanket. He did not move the whole night. But that night, me and my daughter, we went to sleep. We were under 3-4 blankets, and I was very anxious that night. Very, very anxious, because I know people can die from hypothermia or things happening to them if they fall asleep in the cold. So I kept waking up, making sure my daughter was breathing, making sure my dog was breathing. It was just a hot mess. And then the next day, I'm like, Lord, please, they gotta fix this. And it just things was getting worse and worse on the news. People's pipes were bursting. This was going down. And, we had minimal food in the house because I try to not to have a lot of food in, I have a small freezer and a fridge, so it can't hold much anyways. And then what it has, we don't have electricity to cook it. So I was fortunate enough to get us sandwiches and stuff to make. There were a couple of fast food places that was open, but the lines were so long, or by the time you get in line to get your stuff, they ran out of food. So you was kind of SOL or asked out. Is it asked out? SOL. y'all know what I mean. Anyways, so we struggled for about 2 days, and finally on the second day, towards the evening time, the electricity came back on. And when I tell you, I felt like I was on the show Top Chef or some type of like cooking channel, because I was worried, because I didn't know how long the electricity was gonna stay on for, because they were doing some I guess like, because they had limited electricity because some stuff like froze or whatever. They were like turning on people's electricity for a little bit, then turning it off so other people can get their electricity on for a little bit, or whatever. It was a hot mess. And when I tell you, I cooked a meal literally, I swear, in like 5 minutes. It was the fastest meal I've ever made. But when I tell you, I was so thankful for that little meal that I was able to make, because despite all the stuff that I went through, I am so grateful. I had a house or apartment. My pipes didn't burst. Well, like, it didn't burst like into my apartment. The pipes did burst over here. The boilers got ruined. We still don't have hot water. So we go to a friend's house, or we take some good old hoe baths, okay? We boil some damn water, and then we wash up that way. Speaking of water, that was the other thing. Once the electricity came back on, then they want to talk about, boil your water to cook, wash your ass, to wash your hands or whatever, because I guess things at the water factory, or not water factory, water plants, whatever they call them, some people's water was getting contaminated. So we was boiling water. We actually still are boiling water, because I don't know, I just don't trust it at all. I be putting it in a clear glass jar, looking at it to make sure, I ain't getting no not pesticides, y'all know what the hell I mean. Shit, parasites. Thank you. Parasites, okay? Just make sure that, we are good. But overall, this is a learning experience. I grew up in foster care, so I've always been on survival mode, but I've never experienced anything so severe as an adult and having to care for somebody else on top of it. It's one thing like you going through a crisis, and then when you have another person that depends on you, it's a whole nother ball game, because it's just like, well, what you gonna do and stuff like that. And I'm so thankful that, I'm financially stable enough to be able to keep me and my daughter afloat, or be able to, even if I wanted to get a hotel, be able to pay for a hotel and stuff like that. Some people don't have that luxury, or can't afford it, or whatever, or they have priorities. I'm hearing some like crazy stories, like people losing their homes, people lost their lives from this. At first it was like a running joke with me, like, damn, like Texas ain't shit with all this, cutting off the electricity and stuff. But then I started realizing how like really serious the situation is, and how underprepared Texas is. And not only Texas, like myself, you know what I'm saying? I was so comfortable with the Texas lifestyle in the Texas winters that I didn't think twice about, making sure I have enough firewood just in case things go out, making sure I have non-perishables enough for me and my daughter to eat and stuff. Because that's the other thing too. When I cook, I love cooking with fresh things, so I don't really have canned goods. I don't really the most instant thing I would have is like noodles, you know what I'm saying? And I need a stove for that too. So but overall, this was a learning curve for us. We're still in it, because like I said, we're still waiting for hot water. Oh, and we don't have Wi-Fi. I don't know what's up with that. I should probably call them. I'm not even really stressing it, because that's like the last of my worries is the damn Wi-Fi. But overall, this is probably like my worst Texas experience since I've been here. And I've been here for 5 years. So I would say, you know, that's not bad for being here for 5 years. But bet your ass though, I'm gonna be prepared moving forward for this type of shit because, baby, I don't do the cold. I'm anemic. I don't like the cold. That's why I moved to Texas because, you know, I got PTSD from snow. You know, I ain't had no man back. You know, well, I did have, you know, some relationships, but I had no man last time. You know, when I moved. Well, no, I did have a man when I moved to Texas, but I didn't. Most of the time, I was single when I was living in Rhode Island, so I had to shovel all by myself. Okay, and so I do not miss shoveling. My shoulders will be all hurt, and my poor daughter was like 2 years old with a whole shovel in her hand helping me shovel. We is not with the shits. We is not with the snow. But anywho, that was our experience. We're still in it. Thank God, you know, we're good, healthy. You know, even my dog is good. Some of my plants didn't make it, y'all. I got a couple of plants outside and they just died. They died. But you know what that means? I can buy more plants. So, anywho. Well, thank you guys for listening to my first ramble or my first video on my channel. You're going to be seeing a lot of things from me. I don't know how often I'm gonna post. Don't look, this is something for me to do for fun. Y'all don't go and put no stipulations on me now. But if you enjoyed this video, I mean, it wasn't too entertaining, but go ahead and subscribe below, okay? Because I'm gonna have a whole bunch of content on there, and you're just gonna see a lot of stuff with me. That's why it's called Kickin It Wit Dee. Snorts. All right, y'all. Bye-bye. And just to show you how cold it was in my house, there you go. A mess.